Hey everybody, it's Mama Two Wife of One. So I have tried twice to upload this video through my iPad and both times it did not work. So I'm going to try to do it through my cell phone. I apologize in advance for the quality. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm going to try. Okay. So if you looked at the title of this video, you know that I'm going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 12. Last night's episode was called Is There Someone Else? To summarize, three of the couples are really boring. Two of them are pretty juicy. Michaela and Zach, I liked watching them laugh together and just be as a couple, just exist without drama and without, finger pointing, name calling, all that stuff. I liked just watching them be together. I thought that was sweet. Gil and Mirla, I loved watching Mirla actually walk Gil's dog Hype. I thought that was extremely sweet. And I think it showed us that Mirla can actually change and grow. And I'm hoping that Gil was taking note of that as well. I still like them together. Rachel and Jose, they were pretty boring, and it was really nothing there. I think because they put so much emphasis on the other two couples. I'm still not really feeling Jose as a person, but as a couple, they are okay. So if I had to make predictions just based off of last night, I think those two couples are going to make it, while the other two couples we're about to talk about will not be making it. We're going to start with Brett and Ryan, because Ryan didn't piss me off as much as the groom and the other couple. I will say for Brett and Ryan, Brett is a really nice girl. Ryan expects to have this waft of emotions come over him at the sight of Brett. Like, oh my gosh, I love her. I'm in love with her. She's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That's what he's waiting for. And the fact that he hasn't gotten it, he's pretty much checked out mentally from this marriage. That's basically what we learned last night. And it's upsetting because you can clearly see that Brett is still trying. So she takes him to this Ninja Warrior obstacle course place with Rachel and Jose, which is all Ryan's wheelhouse. He loves that physical stuff, the manly stuff of like sports and athletics and jumping and running and swinging. He loves all this stuff. So Brett, arranged this for him. And what was really indicative is that, first of all, whenever they weren't doing the obstacle stuff, when the instructor was telling them what to do, Rachel and Jose were standing beside each other, like over here. What's the girl's name? Brett is right here, and then Ryan was kind of over here. So at no point did we see them even standing beside each other, showing support to each other. It didn't even look like two couples actually having fun. It looked like one couple and then a couple of friends who decided to tag along. And then whenever, I guess the first thing they did was they had to run up a ramp. So the guys did it first, and then Rachel, and then Brett. So when Brett runs up there, you hear the support like, yay, Brett, you can do it. All right. Show of support, love, all that stuff from everyone except for Ryan. Ryan said not a word to support his wife. There was no high five. There was no slapping on the butt or kissing. There was none of that. And it was really concerning. Like, dude, she arranged this for you. What are you doing? But again, it shows that he's just kind of checked out. And he even met up with his sister to talk about how marriage is going. And he's basically like, I'm just not feeling it. It's not really, and he was like, there's so many things I want to say to her, but I don't want to hurt her feelings. And I guess that was a problem in other relationships, that he had issues with communication. So he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, because they had a conversation before with, I want to say, Dr. Viviana, and he mentioned how he's not feeling it. He, normally in a relationship at this point, he would already be in love and he would be, feeling these butterflies or whatever. And the fact that he doesn't feel it is concerning to him. And Dr. Viviana basically told him that, look, the things that you're looking for now, that a rush of emotion, that feel, that's fairy tale stuff. That's what happens in the movies. That's not real life. You have to grow into that feeling. And I feel like because it's come so easily for him in the past, that's what he wants this time. But it's like, okay, but what you had in the past obviously didn't work for you because the relationships didn't work out. So you feeling that stuff so quickly didn't really work well for you. So why not do something different and take a chance to learn this person and to grow into your emotions for this person, instead of just kind of clocking out because it's not what you're used to. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that one night they're home together. This is the last scene together, and they're talking on the couch. We find out that he's sleeping on the couch, which I thought was very interesting, because normally when this happens, where the reader, the watcher, the viewer, we're made aware of the fact that someone is not sleeping in the bedroom. This is the first time hearing about it. It's like, oh, so how long have you been on the couch? And then he said something stupid that just typical male logic. He said, I'm sleeping on the couch because I feel like if I move into the other bedroom, that would be too much for you. the end result is that you're still choosing to sleep somewhere else that is not in the bed with me. It doesn't matter if it's the living room, it doesn't matter if it's the kitchen, the other bedroom, the hallway. You're still actively choosing not to sleep beside me in the bed with me. So it all is the same to me. I don't understand that logic. I think that's a really stupid thing to say. And she could tell he wanted to say something. She could tell that he wanted to basically be like, I'm not feeling you. This isn't working. I want a divorce. That's the gist of what he wanted to say. But instead, he kind of skirted around it and said all this other stuff. And she was like, he's going to have to use his words and tell me. I'm not a mind reader. So he needs to just tell me. I'd rather him tell me now and get it over with, as opposed to what I feel like he's doing is just stringing her along, giving her false hope that at some point things are going to work out, because he ain't saying nothing to this chick. They're not going to make it. I'm not a fan of Brett in this instance, but I don't dislike him as a person. I just feel like he's going about things completely wrong and not putting forth the effort he thinks. Now, Johnny and Bao, on the other hand, let me get close. I do not like Johnny. Let me tell you why. I feel that Johnny is extremely selfish. I feel like he's all about, what is Bao not doing to make me happy? What is Bao doing that is driving me crazy? What attributes of a wife is Bao not meeting? Everything is about what he's not getting, how he's not being treated. Everything is about him. He's never once said, what can I do to be a better husband? I wonder if Bao is happy. What can I do to make her happy? I wonder if Bao is on the way to falling in love with me. How can I make sure she's falling in love with me? Everything is about Bao is not doing these things, but I'm hoping if I focus on the positive, I can fall in love with her at some point. Didn't even cross his mind that maybe she's not falling in love with you. And didn't even cross his mind that if you're so-called miserable and sad and all this other stuff, what makes you think she's not feeling the same? But that's not even he's not even considering that. And I hate that he nitpicks at her. He's always looking for red flags. And I said it before and I will say it again. He was not supposed to be on this show. He should not have been on Married at First Sight. You can't go from 100 first days and no commitment and not sticking around to really learn somebody to now all of a sudden you're thrust in this marriage, because now Bao is going through this marriage with you, and that's unfair to her. She actually wanted this. He needed to be set up with a matchmaker to learn how to date properly, not to get married. That's first and foremost. Second of all, I hate that all the things he's accusing her of are things that he's also guilty of. Like, he accuses her of not being consistent. He accuses her of not really putting forth an effort. He accuses her of all this stuff, and it's like, you're the same way. Like, she's telling you what she wants from you and you're not doing it. And she'll ask him, like, well, what do you think you're doing? He'd be like, well, I'm buying you gifts and I am, arranging the date nights and I am flirting with you. But it's like, okay, that's all well and good. But gifts, for example, you're buying her gifts. If giving or receiving gifts is not her love language, then you buying gifts as an effort is null and void for her. That's something that you like to do, which is fine, but she doesn't receive love that way. So that doesn't do anything for her. So you can't complain that she's not fulfilling your love language and you're not getting what you need if you're not willing to do the same thing for her. Because she's been open and honest and telling you exactly what she wants. And the fact that you're not doing that with her, you're not asking her, not even asking her, you're not adhering to the things that she's saying. He kind of shuts everything off. As soon as the conversation is switched to what he's not doing, his brain clicks off. And it's really unfortunate. And also, these producers need to stay behind the effing camera. At one point, he and she are having a conversation. They're having an argument. He gets up and he's about to storm into the bedroom. And behind him, you see two producers walk by and go to another part of the house. Why are y'all on camera? They literally walk past like they were extras. Y'all know that we're filming, right? Y'all see the lights. Y'all been in here enough. You know when it's time to film. I'm sure they said action. Why are y'all walking past like y'all part of the scene? They really are making them part characters, which I thought was so weird. And I'm like, y'all getting that lazy? That really bothered me. And then I got pissed off when he goes into the room and he pouts, sulks, or whatever. Bao was doing her talking head and she's talking about how she feels and all this stuff. But then she stops mid-sentence because she hears the door opening behind her. This man, first of all, I've never seen this happen. Whenever they're doing their individual stuff, I never see their spouse for any season come into their camera shot. So I was like, first of all, me being a little bougie influencer, You gonna mess up my girl's lighting like that? You gonna take her lighting? This is her good lighting. She's having her moment. And why are you here? This man came over, stood directly beside her, and didn't say anything. And like then went to the wall that was adjacent to where she was and just leaned against the wall with his head down, looking pitiful and sad, waiting for her to come and comfort him, which is exactly what she did. She went to him and held his arm and like, why are you upset? You know, I'm here for you, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, again, that's indicative of their relationship. He's always waiting for her to come to him, for her to comfort him, to coddle him, to ask him what's wrong, to make him feel better. That's what he likes to do. He likes to be in that position where the woman is coming to him and catering to his needs. And that bothered me. The next day, they were supposed to go to barbecue at his uncle's house for the birthday. She was excited to see his family because she hadn't seen them since the wedding. She took time to learn their names in Mandarin. She was practicing. And then he texted her because, of course, he had to text her because who didn't sleep in the apartment that night? He didn't. He left. And before we get back to the party, I love the fact that when she's telling the story or she's like saying her side about how he didn't sleep in the apartment, that's the first time we ever got to see Bao pissed off. We always see her kind of sad or looking a little deflated or looking determined. We never get to see her pissed. And I was so happy that she, rightfully so, was pissed off. She was like, I'm putting more effort than you are because obviously I'm the one here. Who's the one who keeps ducking and running? I haven't left. So obviously I want to make this work. But he texts her and disinvites her from the barbecue because he's like, well, we're not in a good place, so I don't want to bring you around my family. The issue with this is, you know, sometimes this happens if you're a married couple, you guys are kind of beefing, you want to be around each other. That's fine. That's whatever. Didn't necessarily agree with it, but okay. But then when you're at the barbecue, obviously this family haven't seen since the wedding. They want to talk to you about the wedding. How are things going? How's married life? What he should have said was, it's harder than I thought. We have to adjust to each other. We have to adjust to living to each other. We have to adjust to caring for each other. So it's a process and it's a journey, but it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. That is all you say. They don't need to know your personal business. That's literally all you need to say. What he said, however, was, Bao isn't doing this. Bao isn't doing that. I don't like this. I need this. I don't want to settle. I don't know if I want to settle. Like, everything was about her, like, bashing her, basically. And I was like, that's not fair to her, because assuming you guys do work things out and you bring her back around the family at some point, now they're going to be giving her the side eye because all they know is all the bad stuff you said about her. And again, didn't take any onus on himself about what he's not bringing to the table and what he's not doing. That's just such a cowardly thing to do. And that's just not fair to her at all. And then they meet up with Pastor Cal virtually. And, you know, Johnny says again, like, I feel like the person I'm married to, I should not be married to them. I didn't want her around my family because why would I allow my family to get attached to her when I don't even like her? Mind you, Bao is sitting shoulder to shoulder with this man. He's saying, I don't like her. I literally wish I'd been paired with literally anybody else. And she's not consistent in the things that she says. And she's like, okay, well, give me examples. As your wife, I think I should have, you know, actual examples of what that means. So he's like, okay, well, you said you make gourmet meals. You don't do gourmet meals. When's the last time you did gourmet meals? She was like, okay, well, we cooked this together and we cooked this together. And then I meal prepped those things and I did this. And Pastor Cal's like, okay, well, Johnny, did she do those things? And instead of answering the question, he like goes on something. He's like, but the thing is, you know, she does those things and they're like basic things. It's not like going above and beyond. And he's like, Pastor Cal's like, okay, but she's doing those things, right? So how is she not consistent, or how is she lying when she's clearly stated what she's done and you can't deny that she did it because you didn't tell me that she's lying? So I don't understand. And it's like he has an excuse for everything, and he tells Pastor Cal, like, oh, well, she has an excuse for everything. And, you know, the things that she does are just basic things. But it all boils down to the fact that you're not giving her credit for the things that she's doing. And you are so concerned about your ideal version of a wife and the fact that she's not meeting it. And Pastor Cal's like, that self-sabotage, which it is. But also, you're so consumed with making sure you look at the positive things so that eventually you can be in love with this woman. That I'm going to, you know, try harder to give her credit, and I'm going to, you know, be more into this thing. And she apologized, and I'm going to be there for you as well, and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, his sole focus is, I want to be in love. I'm going to try to look at Bao's good points, and hopefully I'll fall in love. Again, never once thought to himself, I'm going to do these things so that I can fall in love, and I'm also going to make sure I do what Bao needs so that she can fall in love with me. It's not even his concern at all if Bao loves him, if Bao's in love with him. He's not at all concerned about that, which I think is just the most troubling thing of all, that you really are making this all about you, all about your needs, all about the needs that are not getting met, and not worried at all or focused at all on the fact that you're not in this marriage by yourself. It's not all about you. So as a person, Johnny's still cool as a person. As a husband, he sucks, because he should not have been married in the first place. So my prediction, I think Bao and Johnny will not make it. I'm surprised Bao has stayed as long as she has, because if I'm sitting next to a man, like literally shoulder to shoulder, and he's telling somebody else that I don't like her and I wish I'd been matched with anybody else, I would have got up and walked away. And Bao is a stronger person than I am, because the fact that she stayed, and she did cry because she was upset about it, but the fact that she stayed and she's still trying to work it out, I've been like it would have taken that and you leaving twice, going to your home. You don't have your apartment anymore, sweetie. We share this home together. We are married. If you're that upset, you can do like Ryan did, go to the other bedroom or go sleep on the couch. You don't got to sleep beside me. That's fine. And then when you get up after you've rested, then we can talk about it. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of Johnny at all. I still really like Bao, but it's like, she don't deserve this. She really doesn't. And he did not deserve to be on this show. He took the place of someone who was probably actually ready for marriage and ready to put forth a solid effort and knew what it meant to really work hard in a relationship. And Johnny does not know how to do that. So I don't think that was fair. But that's just my opinion. If you guys agree or disagree, please comment below. Make sure you like and share and subscribe and click the notification bell. And yeah, let's comment about Married at First Sight. Let's talk about the messes that these people have made of their lives and of television as a whole. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.